everyone, and welcome to the 11th episode of the Croatian Sensation podcast. And I'm here with my good friend, uh, almost an IBB pro, the gray
I gotta give up
eminence,
soon.
the gray eminence of Canadian bodybuilding, the guy that knows everyone, Hassan Jama, or better known as jamastunna from Instagram. How are you doing?
Good. How are you, man? It's good to see you. We talk every day, but
Yeah. It's funny. We talk every day, but we never really talk on the phone. We
yeah,
don't have time.
busy.
Yeah, you have like a family. You have like what? Two children?
I have three kids
Three kids.
plus work. Yeah, so it's 2 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old. So it's a good mix of age. But I mean, they're all pretty young, so you gotta be around.
Yeah, but you knock them out at the same time, so it's like
Yeah. My house is
so
like
easy, right?
it's like how I grew up. There's no games in my house.
Wait,
It's
so is the 6-year-old taking care of the 2-year-old at all, or he's still too young?
Yeah. No, so the good thing is like my son is the oldest and I have a daughter between. And so they like basically now that their school's off, they watch while I'm working, they watch the other one.
Oh,
They know how to do everything with her. Yeah. So it's like my mom said, get them going early with specific routines in the morning and tasks, then you're gonna relax. Otherwise you'll be doing everything. So they help.
yeah.
They do little tasks. When I'm cooking, I make them do the easy stuff, vacuuming, this kind of small stuff just to get them used to it.
Oh shit! So you got them working out there, huh?
Oh yeah, there's no games here.
No free rent.
Because like I grew up with a lot of brothers and we all had tasks. Like that was how it was done.
I mean, it's clear as day that you're not like Canadian. I mean,
Yeah.
you have a heritage. So tell for those that don't know where exactly you're originally from, and if you're even born in Canada. I don't even know actually.
No, I'm not born in Canada. So I was born in Abu Dhabi in the Middle East, United Arab Emirates. So there I was born I grew up there for most of my life, the early life at least. And then I have, believe it or not, I have 8 brothers. So my parents had 9 boys total, straight, no girls. Maybe there's girls, we don't know where it's all boys, and they range from, my youngest now is around almost 30 years old, and then it's up to like 50. So my dad had...
How old are you? 35.
Yeah, well, so me, I'm born in I'm 1982. So
38.
yes, and my youngest brother, even though I treat him like a kid, he's actually 30 years old. And then, but we're very close. Like I have one younger than me 1 year, one above me 1 year. I have, another 2 years. Like we're all like back to back. So it's, and we kind of look alike, but not too much. Some of them really look alike.
So you're the second 38-year-old on this podcast that looks 28.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why though. Was he a black guy?
Kevin Jordan. He's 38.
Okay, so Kevin's mixed. Yeah. Okay, so
yeah.
So Kevin. Yeah, so Kevin's an 82. Yeah. So like my mom, people think my mom's my sister. So my mom's from, she's really, really light. She's had six of us, but because like her skin is nice and they age well. Even my dad's, in the late 70s, but alhamdulillah, my dad looks, you would never think he's that old because just I guess genetic and background, it helps. Yeah. I see people that are 40 and they look like, in bodybuilding, we know guys that are in their 20s, they look 50.
Yeah, they do. They fucking do.
Yeah.
Speaking of your mother and your mother and your father, you said that they were originally from Sudan, right? Or
no, so my mom's from Yemen.
Yemen. Okay.
And if you, which is on the in the Middle East, so right under the Gulf of Aden, there's
Yeah.
there's Somalia. So that's where my dad's from.
Right.
So my dad, I mean, there's a lot of Somalians in Yemen and a lot of Yemenis in Somalia. It's very mixed because there's a lot of trade down that coast, and actually, like through the whole coast. So Somalia is on the east coast of Africa, on the Horn, and
Yeah.
it was a hot spot for trading, and a lot of guys would go from the Middle East down, and they would, trade, livestock, different types of fruits, vegetables, and mineral, whatever, There's a lot of trading. So early, during I think during the 70s, my dad left. Actually, no, my dad left in the 60s. My dad left Somalia after finishing military. So Somalia, before the Civil War, they had like a very good army, considering, within Africa, they had a very good army, like one of the best armies in Africa. And they had programs with Russia where they would train students. And my dad was in the military, so he studied in Russia. He did like weapons engineering there. He had to learn Russian. He lived there, like everything he was doing there. And then he never went back. He just said, fuck it.
It's a
Because
huge
he knew that there was going to be a war coming, at some point. So my dad ended up going to the Middle East, and he was in Abu Dhabi. Like before there was anything, it was like full desert, literally not even a building.
Yeah. Didn't they like build Abu Dhabi like in the 90s and 2000s?
Yeah, so Abu Dhabi in the 70s and 60s, or late 60s, there was nothing. Like nobody wanted to go there. But he got a job in the company. He started working. He didn't want to go. He's like, man, this place is shit. There's nothing going on.
Yeah.
Slowly they started like, they found oil. They were developing the oil fields. And then he's worked for the same oil company for like 40 years. So he's been there a long time. Like my dad knows UAE inside out. Like he can drive the desert with no directions. He just knows, because he's done it for so long.
Yeah, he's a soldier, so he probably knows navigation a little bit better than.
Yeah. He would not go on the roads. There was no roads back then, but like an SUV, and he would find the compounds where they live there for. So how these guys work is they'd work on the compound for like weeks and then come home. So it's like, it's a tough job because it's hot, it's like in the summer there in the desert, it's like 45, 50 degrees. It's not,
of course.
Of
course.
Now compounds are like 5-star hotels, it's like.
It's different now, yeah.
It's not like.
But you still go there every once in a while, right?
Yeah. So my brother's there, my mom's there. My mom works there. My dad's retired, but he's there. I go every year or so. Just because, obviously I like to go back to see them, but also it's a lot of fun over there. There's a lot to do, and it's like, it's good for bodybuilding, man.
I know, and you got tons of friends. Like you show me your Sheikh friends.
Yeah. I have those guys. We have like the best gyms, the best food, and so when people say why, people always ask how come the Kuwait guys, like the Gulf is all kind of similar in that sense. They're into bodybuilding very much. They treat it like a serious sport. So when you say, you see Brandon and all these guys go to Kuwait, you're like, how did they get so good? People just think, drugs, Well, yes, they're drugs. Of course, they have good quality. But the main thing is you can put a lot of focus on the gym because everybody's in that lifestyle. And you're getting the help, right? So you literally get your food prepared. You have someone in the gym cheering you on, helping you get those extra reps. You get good rest. When you get home, there's someone helping you with the cooking, with the cleaning. We have helpers. So literally, if all you want to do is work out and nap, you can get huge.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, easily.
I know because we are on lockdown right now. And I'm able to train a little bit. I have some equipment at home, so I and I grow like crazy. Like I put a pound a week, which is a lot for me as a skinny guy. And I just train, eat, and basically sleep, and it's fucking amazing. And I can't even imagine without having to do anything else, just sleeping like
Yeah.
all day. It's because when you
Like
think about, like Victor Martinez had said himself, like can't fucking be a top pro with 4 or 5 kids running around and 4 baby
you can't,
mamas.
man. People don't understand. Like right now, the life is so much harder in Canada because like by the time you get home from work in the morning, you prepare the kids for school, lunch, all that stuff. That would not be there. You just go to work. Let's say, and these guys don't. Most of them don't even work. So me, I have a full time job. But even if I had a full time job and I didn't have to worry about laundry, cooking, making meals, those are 3-4 hours a day that you have to balance in, and it does affect, of course.
No,
So I go to Abu Dhabi just for vacation, 1 month example. I can gain 30 pounds if I want because I literally don't do shit. I just sleep and eat and
no,
work out.
I know, because when you have to prepare your own food and stuff, like you might take a nap, you might oversleep, and
Yeah,
you're an hour late with the meal already.
yeah,
You
yeah, yeah,
go an hour late to the gym, then you have to rush, and then you're nervous, and then your cortisol, like everything goes wrong. So, you know,
yeah. So I think it's actually probably the best thing for those guys. But you have to have the mindset for like a lot of guys try to go there. But if you're young and you want to enjoy partying and stuff, maybe I know Regan went and he didn't like it. But also the culture is a big change for him, right? Because he doesn't have anybody there that speaks English really. They're not his age, they're a lot older. But you look at the other Ukrainian guy, he's all business. That guy went there and like fucking exploded, right? Because
it's
um,
a different mindset. Like
different mindset, exactly.
because we Slavs, Ukrainians and stuff. Uh, a lot of us, moved out of our own countries, to go to work. Like I know
Yeah,
a lot of people here went to Germany and Austria, and all they do is work and sleep all day
yeah,
and send
yeah.
money back home.
Back
So
home, yeah.
we're used to that. If I go to Kuwait, I'm not fucking around. I'm there.
Exactly,
I'm there to work. So it's
exactly.
just about what you're willing to do. So you mentioned a day job, and it's
Yeah.
very interesting because you're not like a waiter or a construction worker. You're a little bit smarter than that. So tell people about your actual job that you do.
Yeah, so I work for a aerospace. I'm an aerospace engineer, and
Crazy.
so, I've been working for the same company. We got bought by another company, but let's say with the same kind of exact field for like 15 years. And basically, we design all kinds of equipment for aircrafts, from flight management systems to all types of avionics, stuff to do with entertainment. I mostly focus on high-speed data. So like now the big thing is, people when they fly, they want to have full connectivity, right? They want to have a connected aircraft. They want to be able to surf the internet at high speed. So basically our products give you that full speed at home that you would get at home in the air. It sounds trivial, but we used to have like super slow speeds, like dial-up speed up in the air, but now we have like 50 megs. You get like full rate for the aircraft, which costs some money, but like these are for private jets mostly and expensive flights,
Yeah.
first class. Well, they're gonna pay $10 to get, to get
Yeah,
on.
the connection. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really it's taken a big impact with COVID because a lot of the orders for airlines have gone down because of the lack of travel. But the company's still doing pretty good, and we're still able to sell most of the product. We also do a lot of military. So the thing that's
Uh,
saving, we have a lot of military is always buying. So
so is there alien technology going on at all? Or is
well, I
that
mean, not
or
we
is
don't
that
have any, but
classified information? Classified information.
we don't have, I mean, not that I know of, but not that we have, but I know that I'm sure there is. I mean, you would think, I mean, there's
Yeah,
a theories on that. And
yeah,
then you think, okay, well, if we did, why wouldn't a guy like Elon Musk be involved or already have some of this, right? So
yeah, yeah.
maybe they do, and they want to limit what they produce for humanity slowly, right? Because imagine you had access to all that. You could have just let it loose because it's gonna get humans use it for bad right away. That's the first thing they think about, right? What
War,
kind of right? War, right? So I think maybe there is, and maybe they're probably like, let's not give it to these idiots because they get they're gonna like kill themselves, right?
That's hilarious. Yeah. So is the Earth flat or round? You're supposed to know.
Oh my god, man. You know what's funny? I have this argument with so many guys. So the products we do, they rely on satellites, right? So we launch multiple satellites in orbit, different orbits, like low orbit, mid orbit, and a little bit higher. And when I hear these guys talking about, I mean, our products communicate with these satellites. We know all the coordinates of where the satellites are flying, how they're orbiting, and these people are telling us like the Earth's flat. I don't even know. It's like you going to a doctor and telling him like the human has no heart or something. And
Yeah.
why do I even bother, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. But going back to bodybuilding, not to like we're gonna do like I'm gonna get you on again, and we're gonna go through that whole thing because this weekend we had the Olympia, and you actually competed.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
you actually competed at the amateur portion. We thought you would finally get it. We thought you finally had that pro card. But tell the people the process of, first of all, tell people how long you were chasing the pro card, and then tell them what happened.
Okay, yeah. So I started bodybuilding when I was probably 19. And you know, the funny thing is my first shows were Brandon Curry was doing them too in another Muscle Mania was natural, and he won Muscle Mania Super Body, and I won the Muscle Mania World. And he was natural. I mean, I was natural too. I mean, I was like 170, but I was like ripped because like that's all I knew. I knew, like someone told me just do cardio and like eat tuna and eggs. I think that's all I did. So it worked. And I was 174. And I was, at that time, I was already working out 5 years because I started working out like 15. And I was like squatting a lot back then. So I had big legs and like kind of a skinny upper body, but I had like good lats. So I won multiple, I think I won a lot of the young shows, even junior. So I won a junior world drug-free, and I was drug-free. And there was guys in my class that weren't, but I didn't know what that was. I just knew something looked different, you know?
Yeah. Delts were all fluffy. Delts were...
Yeah, they were big. I was like, holy fuck. Then I did this next year. I was still junior, but the promoter said, "Why don't you do the men's?" So I did the men's, and I won the men's. And then I lost the overall to some guy that was like a monster. That's when I knew, like, these guys are doing something, you know?
Yeah, something is weird. Yeah.
So I kept, and those were the forum days, right? And I used to post, and I was like popular on the forums, and people are like, "Yo, why are you wasting your time? Just juice, you know?" I was like, no, let me see how far I can get. So I kept doing non-tested shows, like in the Canadian, it was called CBBF. So Canadian had a 4-tier system at the time. You had to do level 1, 2, 3. That's in your province. Then you go to nationals. So the first like 6 years, you know, I was coming second, third, maybe winning my class, but I was like not hard enough. I can get lean. You know, the natural look, it's hard to explain. You get lean, but you're not dense.
Yeah. It doesn't. Some body parts are still really fat.
Yes, and you look almost like you over dieted. You know, yeah. So that's the look. So I was getting away with it, and then I think Fuad. I met Fuad, and he's like, "Yo, man, you gotta decide like what do you want to do?" You know,
fucking Fuad.
He's like, "You wanna." Do this or so I was like, okay. So he trained me my first show, like I was using performance, and there was a huge difference. Like I actually weighed almost the same, but I looked totally different. I looked like cement. And that show I did good. Like I was super ripped. I kept doing a couple of those shows, but I used to do so much shows that I wasn't thinking pro card. Like I was very light. I was like 195. I think I showed you some of those black and white pictures. I was 195. And
it's crazy. Those pictures.
Like if it was classic, I think I would have been a good classic pro at that time if it existed.
Yeah, sure.
So I did my first nationals. I was like first call. I think I got sixth, and it was hard. Like everybody was good, but I was too tall. Like I knew it, I knew I had to be like 230. I just knew it. But so that was 2008. So 2008 was my first nationals.
That's when Pekalski
Yeah,
won.
Ben won that Yes, Ben won that Canada. A couple other. There was 4 pro cards that year. One Masters, and they gave 3 other ones. So Ben won the super heavyweight. He was like I think 255. He looked crazy. And that year I think Brandon Curry turned pro in the U.S. Yeah, 2008.
Yeah, he did.
He
He won the USA's. Yeah.
He won the USA's. Okay. And then so I was 198. So then that was 2008. So the next year I was 204. Like, so what would happen is I would do nationals at the end of the year towards, and then I would like not do an off season. What I used to do is I take gear for the show and do nothing in the off season, which is, going back, I would have changed a lot of things, but I think it's also good because I'm able to last because I haven't abused shit,
Yeah.
So after the show, I'd stop. I'd kind of get fat, but whatever. And then I would like get to like 240 or whatever, 250, and then I would start dieting again. So, and I would kept doing shows. Like I would do 2-3 shows a year. So I wasn't really gaining much. It was only around, I would say 2014, 15 was when I had enough size, I think, to be pro. So when people say, how long were you chasing pro card? I only look at it realistically as like the last 5 years, because before that I was too small. Yeah. Because I can't as a light heavyweight, especially in Canada where the overall only gets it.
No, you were maybe thinking about getting it one day, but you weren't chasing it yet.
It wasn't.
I'm not chasing a pro card right now. I'm too, like you said, I'm too small, so I can't chase it.
Yes. Right so and also what I was focusing on, I mean, bodybuilding, I was in it deep. Like I loved it. I didn't fuck around when it came to diet and everything. But off seasons, I did not do off seasons well, which is not realistic. If you want to be pro, you need to like take advantage of the whole year. I was busy with work, right? So I was like working like crazy. I was traveling a lot for work. So I would basically focus on prep. And then, when prep's over, I kind of look for the next year. So the first year, like when I worked with Milos, I think that was when I won that class, I thought, oh, I could be a pro. Cause like I was good enough to be pro,
To give people some perspective, you were working with Milos Sarcev and you were doing the amateur Olympia in London, correct?
Yeah. It was and you won in Liverpool. Yeah.
Oh, in Liverpool. Then you won your class. Yeah. You won your class and you lost the overall. In my opinion, you should have won the show. I've seen pictures.
No. I'll tell you the truth because I was okay. So the one he beat me, especially from the back. His back was like cement, right?
Oh, okay.
The Kuwaiti guy was really, really good. He was also much bigger. I think he's probably like 240, and he just had that like dense muscle. But the shitty part is he didn't take his pro card, so nobody got it that show. And he waited the next week. He did the World Amateurs, and he won the World Amateurs. So basically, in our show, I think everybody that won their class in that show is already pro. You know that Portuguese guy with the big quads? I can't remember his name.
Which guy with the big quads?
He's from Portugal. He's a classic guy, huge quads. He got it. I can't remember his name.
Right, I know.
You know who it is, but yes. So he won his class. An Iraqi guy won his class. He's pro now. His name is Ahmed.
Well, at the time there were very, very little pro cards given out. Like until that point in Europe and maybe the whole world, you had like 5 pro cards just to give people a perspective.
Exactly. So look at this. So this is one thing people don't know. Maybe they know now, but like you have to win the world amateurs. Like that's almost impossible.
No, no way. I mean, you've heard of Petar Klančir. In 2014, he was doing the Arnold Classic Europe, and he blew them away. And Vitaly Patev was in that show. He turned pro, and they asked Pavel, he was like a very high official Russian guy, and Vitaly was Russian as well. And they asked him like, "What the fuck?" Like Petr was miles ahead, and he was like, "Ah, you know how it works." Like he literally told them in the
Yeah.
face.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I've seen where like Ali Tabrizi would win like his class, and so he won his show. He won the world amateurs like 5 times and kept getting and never turned pro. So that's the worst part is when they don't take it and nobody gets it. It's like fuck.
Yeah.
You know Kamal. Kamal, I don't know if you know his story.
Yeah,
Kamal won
he
like
won
5 million times, man.
Yeah, he won 7 world championships.
Yeah, like come on, man. He would have been in the Olympia a long time.
Yeah.
And back then he had the full quads. He was fucking no joke, man.
Yeah, but they didn't have the 212 yet, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But fast forward to today, so 5 years running, we actually competed not together, but in the same show in 2018. That's when we met in person. And you were running for a pro card back then too, but I think you got 4th or 3rd.
Yeah, it was. I call it the worst run show.
Yeah, that was terrible. We were jammed.
So yeah, we were in Italy. It was an Italy show in like a little auditorium. We must have been sitting backstage for like fucking 8 hours.
Yeah, easily. I was there.
Garbage everywhere. Like it was what a nightmare, man.
Yeah.
How long did you wait to register for that? The lineup.
I was done in half an hour because my friend Mario was in line and he was waiting for a few hours, and he called me on the phone like, "I heard you're here, like get over here, step over the line." And
you're smart. Yeah.
I registered, and literally 10 minutes later they stopped the register because they had to do the athletes meeting for the pros.
Yeah, I remember. So you were around 8 o'clock. I came in and I saw this girl and I went right in front of her because she spoke English, and I pretended that she was my friend because I was not waiting. Like
yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was in Italy. The Bulgarian guy won. He was fucking good.
Boyan Ivanov, yeah.
Yeah.
He was sixth in the pro show,
Yeah, right after. Yeah. He's the guy that I think if he's like fully crisp, because structurally he's kind of odd, but if he's fully dry, he can be very good.
Yeah, he's working with the local coaches in Bulgaria. They know how to prep powerlifters, not bodybuilders.
Yeah. Oh, so that might be the problem. Because even this year he was almost. It's like he's lean, but he's not.
Yeah. He's never crisp.
Yeah.
So fast forward to this week. We finally thought that's it. Nobody can beat you. It's over. We were watching the preview, like you were like 240, 235, really lean, and we were watching the preview photos. Dana Baker was going in. He wasn't looking that great. Emmanuel Longoria was going into the show, who actually won. He offered in your class. He was looking really, I wouldn't say fat, but he was pretty soft. So we thought that was it. So what happened?
So I'll tell you. So basically, I was, even though I wasn't able to carb up properly and eat the right foods, I still woke up like looking very good. In fact, even the day before, when I was getting painted and he was getting painted beside me, it's, he's got one of those body types that if he's not flexing,
yeah, he's soft as hell. Yeah,
at all. And I was like, yo, this guy's like, when you're not even worried about him, I was worried about the Canadian guy who was like shredded because he's got like, some shows you don't know, you think, okay, that guy's got the craziest glutes. Maybe that's what they like, Yeah. But backstage when we're pumping up and everybody was lining up, I was looking. We had a lot of guys in our class, and I was like, for sure, I was gonna beat all these guys. Like I didn't even think about it. But as he posed, because it's hard to see, right? When you see guys backstage, you don't get the. But when he was on stage, he's got the body where he's lean enough that when he's got so much muscle that he can pop through.
Yeah.
So
like Rolly.
Yes. That's a perfect example. Rolly in Prague, when he won the Prague, you think he's kind of fat, right? Almost. But then when he does the shot, like shit comes out.
Yeah.
Opposed to me, I was a little bit spilled, like not as dry as I should be. So like to beat him, I would have to be super crisp.
Yeah, because
And
he had the legs. He had the legs over.
yeah, he was like 3 inches shorter and same weight. So he was kind of like cartoonish wide, and he got such a small. So I mean, I have no issues. Like you can make an argument I was leaner, but like if you look at it from an overall point of view, I don't think he beat me by much, but I think he beat me in terms of powerfulness. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just the
Actually,
proportion.
the same as when I was in Japan. When I was in Japan, the Korean guy backstage, I didn't even notice him because they combine heavy and super weight. But his quads, man, he's short, right? So when these guys flex, things just come out. You know that, and at the end of the day, they have more muscle, right? So
yeah.
So basically, so he won, but I knew he wasn't going to win the overall because the guy who won the overall was super hard, like hard as nails.
Yeah. The top two in the supers were shredded.
Yeah. He was like peeled. So that guy ended up winning, and then I already know like there's some like for me to win, I gotta be a super heavyweight, but I can't be on the verge. I gotta be like, you know what I mean? So that's gonna be my focus.
Oh, so that's the plan?
Yeah, like do a serious off season so that when I'm done, I'm like 235. Because right now I'm even a few days later at 230, at 233, 234, I look totally different. Like I look much, much better. But I just need to. So what happens is to get hams and glutes the way I want to, I really have to like get much bigger and then kind of do a long diet. Losing muscle, and then that gives me enough time to peak that area. Otherwise, I'm gonna be lean everywhere but there, and then I'll lose. You know, it's always the same issue. Like, it's if I diet too much, I'm a little stringy. If I don't diet enough, my hams and glutes aren't what they want.
Aren't what they're supposed to be. Yeah.
So,
are you gonna hire Matt?
Honestly, man, I'm thinking about it, man. I look at. I'm gonna talk to Matt. I might do like a full off season with him because I think the main key is just give me a sec.
Yeah.
The key for me is, oh, by the way, this year, another thing, I didn't do an off season at all. So that obviously is why I'm almost the same. Like I did like basement fucking workouts for
that doesn't count.
I don't call it an off season, you know? Like I was back home for a month. I was making good gains. But, you know, like I can get to 270 like in fucking a week, but it doesn't mean I'm 270, you know? I need to like get there, solidify, keep gaining a little bit. So I'm going to get to like 280, like a good 280, and then slow diet, you know, do like 5 months so that, you know, I get to around the 240 mark. That's doable.
Yeah. It's just about not breaking at any point, you know, because it's got to stay on the ball the whole time. Should happen. So maybe, are you looking at a show later in the year or?
Yeah. It's going to be late. So that's the plan. I want to do a long off season. Well, not long. I mean, just enough to get to a good weight and also focus on training specific areas. That's one thing I don't really do. Like, I just kind of like work out, you know, like.
Yeah.
I want to like focus on glutes because I think one of my problems is I actually need more muscle there so that it gets leaner easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, some they get lean glutes, but they don't have much glutes. It looks funny.
They don't push against the skin.
Yes, exactly. Now, obviously, I got like Bonak because his ass is so big. That's why it looks so crazy. It's like he's got too much glutes. You know, like, so it'll never get fat, right? Like he's probably got good glutes all year. But I'm gonna focus on that, and then do like maybe Canada's towards the end of the year.
All right.
Because
Yeah. That's a good plan. Yeah. Well, let's hope it's gonna happen this time.
Well, this year, you know, we had no pro cards in Canada. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I know. Well, it's the COVID year, so.
Yeah, I was gonna email the president and be like, hey, listen, just give us the damn pro card.
Well, inshallah, it happens next year.
Oh, there you go. So
there you go. Speaking of, inshallah, we have a new Mr. Olympia and his
Oh
muscles.
yeah.
Yeah, that everybody thought that
Yeah.
wouldn't happen, but it happened. And Hassan saw the show in person. He was there at the Olympia. He saw the prejudging of every class. So we're gonna break down the 212, the Open, and a little bit of Classic. So
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
starting with Open.
Classic's easy, you know.
Yeah, Classic is
Yeah.
good. Well, maybe we can start with Classic because it's so fucking
Yeah.
easy.
Let's start with classic. So the thing with classic is, so I work out in the same gym as Chris, so I see him all the time. So I already knew in my head that he was much better than last year. So he didn't have last year a week out. You know, he had all kinds of issues with his immune system issue.
Yeah.
With his, and so they had to do a lot of things different to get to where they needed to be. This year he had a much smoother prep. So Ian's his coach. Ian's my good friend. We all go to the same gym. So you know, I see a lot of the pics, and I see him in the gym. And what I always tell people, I'm like, you guys don't know how big he is in person. Like he's fucking big because he's tall.
He's tall. Yeah.
Structure, like when he's in the gym, he's taking up a lot of space. And he was like 260 in the off season, very lean, good quality. And so when he gets to be 235 on stage, you're gonna have a problem because if you're 185 and you're short, who's gonna look at you? You cannot.
You get killed. Yeah, get killed. That's what happened.
Combined with the fact that he brought up weak points, plus he was shredded, like more shredded than last year. So I seen the pictures, like 1 week out, glutes, everything ready. So I knew as hard and ripped as Breon could be, it's just now, let's say even Breon might be a little harder in the legs. It won't matter because when you put him side by side, structurally, you're gonna lose. It's like Ramy when you see him on stage. He's actually taller and he takes more space, you know.
Yeah,
so
we're gonna get to Ramy. Yeah, but yeah. For those of you that don't know, Hassan is in the Valier CBAM camp. He's a good friend of theirs. He actually coached Ian Valier when he was still an amateur junior. So he knows these guys inside out. And you actually saw Chris a few days out of the show in person in hotel, right?
Yeah. So no, not Chris in the hotel, but I saw pictures of him like from a week out, like full pictures.
Right. Yeah.
And I've seen him posing in the gym regularly, but when you see the pictures, you're like, shit, okay.
Yeah, he had it. Yeah. No,
like whatever they post online, I know it.
But the thing is, you know, when he walked out, he just looked statuesque. He looked like a statue. Like it was, and you can see that he practiced his posing like for 3 hours a day because he was so comfortable. So he was like Dorian, you know.
He can hold pose. And you know, when I competed with Chris in the amateur, he was the same way in terms of, you know, Chris's body type. It's not, I wouldn't call it, it's very unique. That's the problem. No one's going to look like him because like the face, you know, the abs that are, the lats that are, and then the quads have a crazy pop. So he looks like a robot, even when he won North Americas. Like when he opens up,
I remember,
and you're like, holy fuck. So man, if he did open, like he could be a good open. Like there's no doubt in my mind.
We talked about it the other day.
Yeah.
Even Acito said that. Acito said.
I mean, if he wanted to, and obviously he likes where he is, but let's say he didn't have health issues and he wanted to, he could be 280. He'd look crazy. Yeah. He could easily do it. Yeah.
And for those of you that doubt,
hands down.
For those of you that doubt what Ian is saying, I had a confirmation that Chris basically used almost nothing for this show. So he is very, very, very gifted. He's a hard worker, and you know, you don't win a pro card at 215 6'1" at 21 years old by accident.
I mean, put it this way: his first show, he was 19. It was a regional show. He was, I think, 215 maybe, and like it was like babies beside him, you know. And then he did the Ontarios. He got third, and then we did the Canadas, and he got, I think, second or third. It was between him and Regan, but they were like kind of similar. but Chris was getting harder, like a harder look. So they ended up both getting their pro cards outside of Canada.
Mhm.
The North Americas, Regan won the Arnold's Brazil.
Yeah.
And then Chris just stuck. Classic came and it was like, perfect timing, right?
Yeah, Regan is too big for classic. He just easily grows. Yeah. Speaking of the classic lineup again, the huge upset was the fact that Terence placed second. Nobody was really expecting that. Did you see it that way, or was that?
I honestly, so from what I understand, because during prejudging, for sure he was third. Like I had Brian being second, and Brian's posing is really, really good too. Same with Terence. Terence knows how to like show certain areas that he's good at, and he did improve. He looks bigger. He was harder. He was so, but I still thought that Brian was better, in my opinion. He had a denser look, I think I heard in the finals Brian was kind of like bumping and I guess Steve didn't like that, and maybe that, I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe that did it for him, because that's kind of what I was being told. And I didn't watch the finals, but either way, like you can make an argument either way, because to me, Terence grew a lot. I think like he looked bigger.
Yeah, like he did. And he just wasn't that crisp though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, like Brian is like cement, man. Like up close, all those pictures like leading up from the side, he has like that density that you could tell it's from a guy who's been training for a long time.
Yeah.
So you see the matureness, and he's got like the crazy big biceps. He's got like beautiful biceps, good back. So I mean, I think if it went either way, it wouldn't be like a big shock. But for me, I thought Brian was going to get it. So I guess you could upset.
Yeah, same. Because I think he's a little bit more. I love Terence. He's a friend of mine, and I love the fact that he got second. That's amazing. It's a long time coming. But yeah, I mean, he was the only thing. Another thing is that Brian had a really bad routine, and Terence had the best routine of the show. So like open 212, whatever. So I think that might have played, in the judge's mind as well, because it is classic at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think that does play into it, of course, more than other categories. The posing. Yeah. The guy that I really liked is the Lord.
I was about to ask you, what do you think of that guy?
Well, I've seen him before, this guy's crazy, man. I don't know how 220. I don't know how. He's like crazy. Like
imagine him at 250, 260 though.
I think this guy, if he does open, he'd kill everybody. But he has to go back because he has a small back.
So
I don't know how old.
I have a friend.
He's probably like 30.
I have a friend, you might have heard of him. His name is Joy Belt. He's I think from Vegas. He was a Matt Porter client. He discovered this guy like when he was still an amateur. And he sent me the video, and he was like, "This is the next fucking Ronnie Coleman." And I was like you might be right, because he had the tiny waist, nothing missing.
Tiny waist. And you see his arms and shoulders, like he's the legs. When you see Instagram videos, you think he's 250.
Yeah. So imagine at 250, and I think he can easily get there. He doesn't look like a guy that needs to try.
Easily, I mean, have you seen him front squat? He does like 500. He's a strong guy, man. This guy can be easy, like a good open bodybuilder, no problem. And
I pray to God it happens.
I think it will. I'm not sure I don't know. I mean, he's got two options, right? He can improve into the classic, but then he has to stay in that window. But I think if I was him and I had those genetics, and I think he's young, I would fucking say fuck it and just because he's gonna get a big waist. Like that guy's gifted. That waist is not going anywhere.
Of course, but he can make like good six figures a year. In open bodybuilding, and in classic, he's gonna stay at maybe 5, max.
5, yeah. He can. I hope he does it. man. I mean, I don't know what his views are, but I mean, he's got glutes, he's got everything. So why just go for it? Fuck it.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah,
So now that we covered that, the 212 Olympia was pretty exciting. I actually nailed one placing. I said that Oleg, the Ukrainian guy, is gonna be sixth. You know, the crazy hard dude,
yeah.
really short, thick, hard.
He's like his back is fucking nuts. The
Yeah,
back double bicep, the shit going on in the hamstrings, and it's
the
crazy. And
legs. Yeah, the legs.
it's just his stomach is ugly, you know, like it's got that weird. It's
Yeah, he's a little
structural thing.
narrow. He's a little
Yeah,
narrow
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, but
He got 60, I think, yeah, and then
yeah, Ahmad
he
was
got,
in fifth.
and then
Ahmad
Calderon.
Rahman. What?
Ashkedan's condition was very, very good. He has some freaky parts. He's got his side chest, the hams, the back poses. He's got crazy back. I really don't like the way he hits the front double bicep, where he locks the legs. I don't
Yeah,
know. That does not look good. You know what I mean? Like locking the legs totally straight. And when he does this, the lats are very suspect. Whereas, like, I know why. I mean, I shoot my gear mostly in the lats, and I notice towards the end of the prep, I have to stop because if you don't give it enough time, it does kind of.
they start getting lumpy. Yeah.
And when you do an ab shot, your last thing you want is fucking squares. It happens, though. But you know, where are you gonna put it, right? You don't want to put them in the glutes. I think sometimes you don't like doing delts. So I find lats is you got a lot of area to
Yeah.
you have to be careful. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's what he's doing. But you know, he squeezed himself in because he's extremely thick and he was peeled again. So
It was dry,
yeah,
super dry. Yeah.
you can't deny the guy. He has too much muscle. So
Too much
that's
muscle.
fucking classic.
It's just he had a pretty body when he was an amateur. So I
I
think
remember, yeah.
if you kind of kept it more like that, I think you would have been a better overall bodybuilder.
Yeah. It's a shame. In fourth, we had who was fourth?
Calderon, Spanish guy.
No. He was like seventh, I think.
You know what? He looked a lot worse this year in this show. I think he didn't peak as well as the last.
No. It was his third show in a row.
Yes, it was third show. Yeah.
Yeah, so he looked very. I was hoping he was my dark horse for the top 5. Yeah,
I thought he's gonna make top 5 too. Fourth, was it Derek fourth?
Yeah, Derek. Oh my God, Derek was fourth.
Yeah, so Derek was worse than last year, which was disappointing because to me his quads looked even smaller from the front, and he was not as hard from the back. So imagine that his front was not better and his back was not better. So I think fourth was fair a spot for him.
Do you think it's a peaking problem, or he's just not dense enough to you know?
I'm pretty sure I know what the problem is. Like I don't want to. I think I know because like I mean I've done like 1,000 shows, so I think he hasn't done enough shows. Because if you think about it, he's done maybe 5-6 shows.
Yeah.
So you need to do. I don't know why these guys. He should have done like 5 shows this year, or as many as you can, right? To get to learn the peak.
Yeah.
To figure the body out, you know, if you won all the overalls that you've ever done, and only like I think he won the first 2 shows and then turned pro, and then he won that pro show, and then he did the Olympia, and then it was this Olympia. So maybe like a handful of shows. That's not a lot of experience, right? In terms of game time, like show. So I think if I was him, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he can do whatever he wants. Obviously, he's way ahead of us. But if I was him, I would do multiple shows because usually, for me at least, I get better if I do 3. My third show, I would be better, even within the same year, like a couple of weeks apart. I think so. I think that would because remember last year, I mean, weeks ahead, he looked crazy, right?
Yeah, but I think he just he's crazy at 225. 220, and then he loses those extra 10 pounds, and he loses he loses
That
what,
might.
so I think he's just not dense enough. He doesn't have enough real muscle. He's not like Calderon, where he has that. If Calderon loses 10 pounds on purpose, he's just gonna look harder. He's not gonna look any smaller.
Yeah,
So
that's a good point. I didn't think about that. I don't know what he weighs a week out. I don't know if he has to really cut hard.
I think he has to cut hard, because he
Yeah,
4 weeks out, he's already at 220, 225. So I think
yeah,
he needs to go to the open. I mean,
yeah. It's tricky for these guys because they're in that. He's in that height where it's got to be 212, right?
5'7". He's 5'7". He's too
Oh,
tall.
he's 5'7". Okay, so that's better than I thought. Okay, I thought he was more like, yeah. Ashkenani's like really short, so he's taller than that.
Yeah,
So
he's
yeah,
he's fucking he's taller than Dexter.
yeah. That's true. So yeah, I mean, if you look at Bonak's not tall.
No, he's
Bonak's max what 230? Bonak's not more than 230. I don't.
yeah.
And he's got fucking oodles of muscle. He's got like fucking.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he can be 235 on stage without trying. He's just so genetically gifted that he can knock it out of the park either way. So I think he's wasting his time.
I think that's a good suggestion. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and then in third, we had George Pearson. I think with Clarida, he was probably the most improved, and Rami, the most improved guy in the show, because he went from classic to 212 in a year, won a show, and got third at the Olympia, which is crazy.
You know what? We all knew that if you even just took him out of classic last year and put underwear on him, he would have done good in the because like he has that. But it's so weird because like when you see these guys beside each other, he looks so much taller, right? So you're like, that's where he's kind of screwed. I'm pretty sure he's maxed out at that weight. He's probably 210, right? That's what I would think. But when I see him in the expo, I'm like so much taller than him. So he's still not that tall. He's probably 5'7", maybe 5, maybe
5'8".
not even more.
He's 5'8".
Yeah,
I'm sure.
He's got like he's also got a unique structure. Like he's got like small, like kind of like he's got short torso, long legs, so the arms are long. So he needs to be bigger. I think he should do open.
Yeah, just gonna take his time, but he wasn't hard enough too. So maybe if he gets like, the way he did in classic, if he loses 5 pounds on purpose, he can still do the 212 next year.
That's a good point. He was not as hard as last year in classic. He was way harder.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So if he comes back a little bigger and a little harder, maybe he can challenge Clarida for the title.
Yeah, I think so. I think that makes sense.
So going to Clarida and fucking Kamal. When I heard in the morning that Clarida won, I was actually surprised because the way I saw it, Kamal was winning at prejudging. But then I saw the footage from the finals, and Clarida looked like Clarida improved, and fucking Kamal regressed a lot. So
yeah.
So
here's how I saw it. Like I looked at it like up close. The pop on Kamal wasn't like Clarida has the craziest pop you've ever seen. Like his skin is gonna burst. Like you couldn't get any more fuller or any more tighter. Like it's crazy. So whatever they did, they did a good job there. Kamal though was peeled, man, and like he was more balanced. I thought pose for pose,
Yeah.
Like if you go pose for pose, I had him winning pretty much in prejudging. For sure, I had him winning. I don't know what did the scorecard say? Do you know? I don't know how.
I think it was a point difference total.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I had him. I had Sean for sure second prejudging, and then maybe Kamal didn't do enough between the 2 days, and Sean kind of like stuck it out.
No, but it was for 212. It was on the same day though. Morning night thing.
212. They did it at the night. Yes. So I think. I mean, I have no issues if it went either way.
I agree. I mean,
I just see like, to me, there's a lot of weird things in Sean's body. So I don't know. The head judges, they
Yeah.
know what,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I get it. What you're
like,
saying, but still, Sean was really complete, and he really popped, and he was like a mini Coleman up there. So, you know,
he,
I, I
yeah,
think
I'm
it's
telling you, the detail came out. I mean, some of those pictures, you don't need to filter shit. Like he was like,
yeah, he was crazy. Yeah. Yeah. No
especially,
filter.
I like his shape on the back double bicep.
Yeah.
I really like it because like he really grew his legs. His legs are nuts, man. He's
Yeah.
got like flex wheeler legs, but peeled. Flex wheeler
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
He's got like the flex wheeler legs, but they're actually like shredded,
Yeah.
like striated, fully.
I think the problem with Kamal is that he was a little bit like a canvas, and he was really boxy, so,
Boxy.
you know,
The paint was. I didn't like the color at all.
yeah, 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 yeah. He was
Maybe
mud.
the color with the background didn't go good with him. He looked kind of red. It wasn't like golden, and not enough oil too. I don't know. Just
I think he was a little flat too, to be honest.
yeah, and maybe that's the thing, right? The other guy was so bursting that like you
Yeah,
just can't help.
he looked like a canvas compared to Clarida, because Clarida was so fucking full. So I think Chris made a little bit. I still think Chris is one of the best, but I think they made the wrong calculation. I think they went a little bit more for the shreds, not enough for the fullness, and that's where I think they lost the show.
Because I know, like they were saying. I mean, he was saying even on the other show. Apparently, he was ready like for months. Like he doesn't get out of shape, right? So like
Yeah,
they
he's
probably
50 years old. Like when
yeah
when did you see a fat 50-year-old? Like,
yeah.
yeah, it doesn't happen, So
He was. If you're ready weeks ahead, you can afford to have a bunch of burgers and whatever you need to do to
Chris
really.
was actually loading him on Monday. I think I saw him eating a burger, but
Okay. So that yeah, still yeah. So he
yeah, but
started.
still, it's not enough, Like he got a lot bigger. So I think that's where Chris was, you know. He got so much bigger from last year. Chris was maybe peaking him the way he did last year, and just the formula.
Yeah.
Maybe the formula didn't work this time. So, oh well. I
It,
like.
it, it's it's tricky, man. Like most bodybuilders know, but I get so mad online because like people that don't like compete, it's like they have no idea, man. Like it's like the lottery, the less variable. I mean, like the best guys are the guys who, like Dexter probably has no variables to play with. He just keeps it the same. And those are the guys that can peak a lot. But like for a lot of guys, man, there's a lot of shit that can go wrong, man. Stress, the lights, color, judge, timing of the show, when you go on versus when,
A
sitting
lot
back,
of things.
that ruins a lot of people. Lying down, you don't know when you're going. Like
Yeah, it's
it's
crazy. I know. It's really hard to hold that condition, and then you start, if you start running flat, it's over. Like, you're flat. You
yeah,
can't
because
pull
you're
up
like sitting
anymore.
down. You're like, how do I look? Oh, let me go. You go in the bathroom. The lights suck. It's like a mind fuck.
Yeah, people have no idea. People have no idea. At that point, if you don't have like a tremendously good coach that's hands on you, like
You-
backstage, you're fucked.
That's the only. I always tell people, the best guys are the one. You're gonna do your best if your coach is with you physically, because hour by hour it changes, especially on a guy with a fast metabolism. Like me, like I can change meal by meal, so I need someone there, touching, looking, even backstage, because like you, that difference might be like an extra 6 ounces of water, or whatever.
No, I know. I'm coaching my guy, and like in pictures, he looked soft to me. And then the other day, I went to his gym to train with him. He stripped down, and I realized he was actually flat as a pancake, and his skin was
Yeah,
loose. So he wasn't
loose, yeah,
fat; he was flat. So things like
flat,
that.
yeah.
You
And
just
flat can make you being flat. If you have the muscle and you're actually ready under, you can look soft. Yeah, it'll make you look soft.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So now that we wrapped the 212, I actually like the changing of the guard. the reigning champ thing. It's fucking boring, man. Like,
Oh, this was good, man. Like there was a lot of emotion. Like I was happy for the guy, man.
yeah,
I was
yeah, it
happy.
was crazy, and I'm happy for Matt too. Matt is a really good friend of mine,
And,
and
and look at the odds. Like imagine what people used to tell Sean like
oh
5 years.
my god, I
Like
remember
they probably were like laughing at him. You'll never do it, and like it's like probably the
dude,
best feeling in the world now.
we were on MD forums together.
Yeah,
When we were
yeah.
on the MD, he was a regular member. He was getting shit on. People said
Yeah.
like, "Congrats, you won the bantams. Like, go, find a real job." And he was like, "No, I'm gonna continue into the pros." And everybody thought he was crazy.
Yeah, yeah. No, I gotta give him mad respect, man. That's fucking,
Hard
sticking it.
work.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I realize, man.
yeah.
Um,
Anyway, the Open. That's the thing we're all here for. Uh,
action packed.
yeah, that's the best, the cream of the crop. I found the show like overall quality. Top six was amazing, and then after the top six, I think the quality is like really went down quick. I mean, the guys were good, but they weren't like 5 years ago when you had in eighth, ninth, when you had Brandon and Nathan Diasha and Dallas, and all those guys. It wasn't like that.
Yeah,
So
I think the good thing what I noticed, the top pack was very close to each other, and then like you said, the next pack there's a lot of guys missing, so it probably would have been more interesting if all those guys were in there, right? Like it would have been a crazy Olympia. Imagine if you had Nathan, if you had Rolly, Kuklo, who am I missing? James,
Flex Lewis.
Flex Lewis. Oh fuck, throw Flex Lewis in there. I mean, it's almost. I mean, if you make that top 10, it's like fuck yeah, I made top 10. That's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know what I
like,
mean?
yeah. I counted like nine guys: Cedric, Sergio Oliva, Kuklo.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Go close the door. Kuklo,
yeah.
fucking, it's just, it was, and a lot of guys, like Dexter wasn't himself at all. Like that's by far the worst Dexter that I've ever seen. Even he was better even as a bantamweight.
I was
Uh,
surprised. I don't know. Because after watching his interview, I thought he'd at least look somewhat close, but it was a big drop, from
yeah,
his
I
last
think,
show.
yeah, from the Arnold, which was like 6 months ago.
Oh, he did do the Arnold, eh?
Yeah, he
Yeah, he
did.
did.
He was second. He beat Rami.
Fuck, man. Yeah, see, major drop, dude, man. It was like, that's weird, man.
I think what happened is he lost too much size, which he usually does. He takes a break, he loses size, and then he gains it back like this because he was training with Charles and with Psycho Lewis, and they
Yeah,
pushed him. And I think at
yeah,
50 years old, he couldn't do it anymore. He was too old.
yeah. I think right now the Dex will be like he'll be the guy that's like 60 years old with still fucking 20-inch arms and looks good, but
Yeah,
need to compete.
yeah, no need to compete. Yeah, I mean, his
Yeah.
back was so flat, and he just, I don't know.
It must be hard too. Like, I don't even know how he made it through the reps. I would have been like, fuck this shit. Like,
Yeah, yeah, me too. Like if I
what
saw,
can you accomplish, right? You've. I think a better accomplishment. Maybe next year he just does one show to win 30, and then
if he
say
does
he's
that,
got.
he's crazy. He has everything
Yeah,
to lose and nothing to gain.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know.
So you're right though. Like I think, like okay, so let's start from 10 and go up. Is that
Yeah,
better or?
Justin was intense.
So
Yeah,
Justin, I thought Justin was worse than the last show. Still good, but like I think he was a little watery in the waist. He was big, and
small in the
then
legs. Small in the
small on
legs.
the legs now. And I think that's just like a combination of his upper body is so fucking big, plus he has like a wider waist, right? So even when he does this, he kind of does it like that.
Yeah, yeah, he has to. Yeah,
Yeah. So he needs to. I think his focus should be like solely on quad sweep, hamstring thickness, and then I'm sure he's heavy, but I don't think that. I think he has enough muscle in the top.
I think the problem was also that he peaked for the Chicago Pro. He looked
Yeah, yeah.
insane at that show. He was peeled out of his mind. So
Everybody told me backstage that he looked nuts. Yeah, everybody
yeah.
told me.
So going into the third show, it was just too much, So
Mm.
you couldn't expect much from the guy.
Especially if you had to do all kinds of magic, because you saw the pictures like 5 days before. He was not ready. So
No,
like
no, no. AJ has to
yeah,
push him. Yeah, AJ
yeah.
has to.
There was some magic happening, which means that to duplicate that, it's a lot harder. Right? You got to hold that condition now, and then because I remember what happened. He gained weight, right? He filled out more, and then you still got to do that whole game again, right?
Yeah, for sure. So, but it was a good placing for him, I think.
Yeah, yeah. It
He
was
beat
good.
he beat a good group. Yeah,
I, I like his look. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Same. But yeah, he looked good, but he wasn't extraordinary. So you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
really, 10th was good, I think.
yeah.
In ninth, we covered Dexter a little bit. I think ninth was a very, very good placing for him. I think he could
Yeah.
have been as low as 12th or 13th.
I would have put Antoine ahead of him, in my opinion. I would have put Antoine in the ninth
Yeah,
position.
yeah, he was peeled.
Antoine was a top 10 guy.
Yeah.
Just because he had probably one of the best condition. It's just structurally, he obviously needs more size in the top. But I got to give him credit. He did. It was for first Olympia. I think it was a very good look. But I still think he should have been in the top 10. Top 10 in this group, giving what was available, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can what was available, right? I think 14th was. Come on, he was not 14th. He was not.
No,
worse.
no way. I don't
know why they did that. Like,
yeah, he was a little small up top, but he was so fucking peeled that there's no way. I mean,
there's no way.
That's ridiculous. So, yeah, definitely the most overlooked guy of the show.
For sure, yeah. He should probably just. I mean, I know what they will tell him, right? But like, it was. I thought. I think they ran out of space, right? But still, you think, okay, 11th, something. He's better. He was better than Lucas. Lucas was not peaked at all.
Yeah, he didn't look right. Yeah,
didn't look right. Same with Max. Max has this area looks good always. This.
Yeah, the square. Yeah.
But like, he's missing a lot of stuff, especially the side legs.
Yeah.
And he definitely was better than the Korean guy. Come on.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah. The Korean guy doesn't even know how to diet.
Yeah, so that's I don't know. Antoine should talk to them just to get some feedback.
Yeah,
probably
I don't know. But we covered.
So yes.
Yeah, we covered
now pretty much up to 14. So we got Dex. 7th was
in 8th.
Hunter.
Hunter was 8th.
No, Ian got 7th. Hunter was 8th. Hunter was not. I thought he was a lot worse than Tampa. Was it Tampa that he won?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was a lot worse. But even Tampa, he was not too dry. Like he's got so much muscle that,
No, but he was way harder.
Well, harder. Yeah, that's the word.
He wasn't lean.
Leaner, yeah.
He wasn't lean.
Yeah, I think that whatever they did, maybe they tried to bulk a little bit and gain some muscle. Maybe that wasn't the best.
Yeah, they did.
Just because he looked blown out, like he looked like he was going hard. Like every week the pictures, he probably should have just cruised a little bit. And just
I was telling you, like 3-4 weeks out, when I saw how puffy he was, I knew that he's not gonna be in shape.
Well, I saw him the day of the show or day before posing in the gym, and he didn't look lean, man. He looked big. I mean, like a horse, like thick, big. He's got huge legs, right? So like big glutes, big legs, lots of muscle. But when you see a guy walking beside you, like if you see Ian walk beside you, he's fucking like cement, like dry.
Yeah, he's dry. Yeah.
All the time, like because I'm in the gym with him, right? So and you see him, he was not like that. He was like way softer. Yeah. So I think he should have been. I think Antoine should have been even there. I mean, you got to give.
I agree. He wasn't in shape, and he's not huge either. So he's not.
He needs to fix that thing too, whatever that is. Is it a torn? he needs to fix that. And
Yeah, so you
but
know,
he's gonna be good, right? So,
yeah, I wasn't like I said on Instagram, I wasn't really impressed with him, but I to each their own. But I think eight was like because I've seen a few comparisons with Ian, and Ian blew him out of the water. Like he was
this
miles
was
ahead,
there was. I mean,
miles ahead.
Hunter has a nice structure. He's got a lot of good. He's got no real weak points, right? He looks good in every pose. It wasn't crisp enough.
Yeah, but it doesn't translate when he's not in shape.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
so talking about Ian, he fucking brought it, man. He was probably the most conditioned guy of the show. He was
Yeah,
drawn.
I think Ian and Clarita were the most like combination of full and hard and dry, and they did whatever they did like.
Worked
And,
this time, yeah.
I think Ian said it's because he like leading up, he's already there, right? So they did the least amount of manipulation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense. His strong point is his condition. I mean, he's conditioned all the time. He's got grainy hardness. He doesn't have like the separation and flow like a Hunter. It's like two different bodies, right?
Yeah.
But he's broad, takes a lot of space on stage. He's got some crazy shots, right? And you have to reward the crispness, right? It was like see-through, And
Yeah, he was crazy. He was crazy. I was really
so
impressed. I still think he could have been a little bit fuller, especially in the pecs and the legs. But yeah, he was good. He was good.
I think I mean, his strategy has to be based on his structure and his strong points, right? So it's not like he's not gonna have like the prettiest body, right? So he needs to just grow a little bit every year. I think a little bit more sweep in the quads would be good, right? A little bit more sweep.
Yeah.
The side is perfect. The back much improved, but still, you could always add a little bit more. Maybe in the back, sometimes but I think like considering all he can do, I think he did. I would say it's like a 98%. Like what else can you do, right?
No, he was really, and it was his third show of the season, and he was insane. So definitely the most improved from the beginning of the season. So I can't really say much.
But yeah, this is good. I mean, the good news is for him now going forward, him and his coach, they know what to do, right? So now as they get bigger, just apply the same strategy, less variables, just peak, just stroll in,
Yeah, in off season he needs to get really big and really strong. So
well, he always gets big though.
I know.
It's that hard for him. I mean, Ian's the guy, like knowing him personally, he's the most regimented guy I probably know. I know people say that, but like, trust me, man, like he pounds the meals, even if it takes till fucking 3 a.m. If he comes to dinner to my friend's house or we go out, he brings this, like he doesn't fuck around, like there's no cheating, off season or not. He's not like eating chocolates. Like it's like full-time bodybuilder, which is not easy to do. And it pays off because look,
so when he loses, it's that much frustrating probably as well.
Yeah, because like, trust me, he's not getting away with things like other guys are. He's putting it all in. Like,
I know exactly how that feels. Trust me.
Yeah. So I'm very happy for him. And
I'm happy too. I mean, he's in that spot now. He definitely needs to improve if he wants to stay there. Because if those guys we talked about, like Sergio and Kuklo, and if they come back next year, he's gonna have his work cut out for him. So he has to make major improvements going into next year.
I think the thing is, though, I think it's easier for him to beat them because those guys, most people can't peak. That's the hard part, right? Like get the condition the way it should be, and so. If Ian has that always, if he can master that every show, then he's gonna beat guys that are off, right? Easily. Because he's small, he's like 250 something, right? So let's say he's 255 and a Kuklo comes in there who's a little bit off, Kuklo loses.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he can get people like Dexter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope it happens.
So we'll go to 6th. So
yeah. I was about to say, did you
He's
have
very
him
dead
higher?
spot.
Did you have him higher?
Honestly, no. I tell you why. I thought Bonac got screwed, man. Honestly, man. I don't know why they put him in fifth because to me, Hadi wasn't as good as last year in terms of pop. He wasn't. Maybe it was the color. Maybe it was the lights. Maybe the combination. He was not like. He wasn't exploding like last year or Vancouver Pro whenever he did it. And Bonac, his legs were back to the size they were, but they weren't. The quads weren't. You know, Bonac usually has that.
Pillowy roundness, yeah, like jump out at you.
He on the back he was crazy. Like he beat everybody. I thought his back door biceps fucking nuts, man. Like from the legs up, and I just think that I would have had him in fourth, and I would have put Hadi in fifth. That's what I would have.
Wow.
And I would,
and I wouldn't have
put.
You would cause a riot.
I know, but I mean, you have to look at it. Like if you look at them beside each other, he's just a bigger version. He's bigger than Rami, you know. I mean Hadi, and he was lean.
Yeah,
it's just it's overlooked.
I think he got overlooked a little bit because he was really dark. You know, like
but see, I think that was the lighting because a guy like Hadi looked too light. You know, the lighting and Bonac. Even if you look at Brandon, he looks so dark. Normally he doesn't look that dark.
Yeah.
So there
yeah.
Color and the light combo, right? The combo of the two, it can go good or bad for you.
Yeah, maybe at prejudging, and I think he was fifth. Hadi, I think, was fifth at like 20. He had 22 points at prejudging.
Okay.
And then he was like second at the night show. He had 10 points.
Really? Who had 10?
Yeah. But he improved like tenfold.
Oh yeah.
He was much harder at the night show.
So in the night show there was a different background. The lights are a little bit more fancier, right? So it makes a difference, right? If you even look at the prejudging lighting with the different backdrop, it's kind of dull, right?
Yeah.
The look of the guys was dull. So, but I think either way, I mean, let's say Akeem, I think he was there, but like if those other guys were there, man, he wouldn't have been in the mix, right?
Yeah, I look at it this way. You can even put him first or sixth, you know, like there's no in between with Akeem because like why would he beat this guy and not the other guy and not the other guy? Because
but if you look at the fine detail, it's weird. He still doesn't have enough
thin skin. Yeah, like you can see on the.
I don't know if it's skin or water. Like you know, on the back poses. Like if you look at Bonac's back double bicep, it's crisp. Like you can see every. Now here we're nitpicking, okay?
Yeah.
Like we're nitpicking because we're talking about the top fucking six, right? So
yeah. But of course, we have to say
it's a fair argument, right? If you look at like Hadi's back pose, he has a small back. So that's why I go with a Bonac, because Bonac was bigger and bigger hams, bigger glutes, more conditioned from the back. It's just his front, you know, he's kind of a circly waist, you know. Bonac has a weird structure. So some shots don't look too good on him.
I think the problem was that he wasn't very powerful from the side either, Bonac. You know, I think he wasn't like previous years where his quads were like jumping and it wasn't. I still think he left a little bit to be desired for. That's why I think he was great, but he wasn't at his best. So it's like, what the fuck do you do with him? But you know.
So the question is, do you think he should go back to a coach or?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because
I think he's missing that. I tell you what he's missing. It's easy to get lean for a show alone. Up to the show.
Fullness.
The last few hours or days, that's I think what he's missing. He needs that.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I don't know. He was polished every time with Neo. That's all I know. So never not peaked, right? His color was good. Like if you have Neo backstage, you could tell you put more oil on. Like, you know, these things make a difference, man.
Yeah. And I was told that he was missing oil too.
He was missing oil. He was like matte. Right away, I'm like, where's this guy?
Weinberger hates that shit. You know that Weinberger hates that shit, you know?
Yeah. Like you can't be making those mistakes, man.
Yeah. So
right.
But speaking again, we are constantly jumping to them. But Akeem, yeah, I think he was solid sixth on the score, and I thought so as well. I think he doesn't
Yeah,
have the
yeah,
back development, and like you said, he doesn't have the detail from the front in the arms and pecs and delts.
yeah.
He's
He
really
has like
washed.
it's weird. He has frustrated quads, but he doesn't have the muscle separation in some other areas. But I just don't think he will ever get it because I know if you look at him even in like 2010 when he was like 200 pounds, same kind of look, right?
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
think
yeah. It
it's
was always there. Yeah.
a genetic thing, you know.
He actually got it better, as years went by. But
Yeah,
I I
and then on
I,
the back,
I personally think he can be a top three guy maybe in the future.
oh yeah, if he can get that extra some, I don't know the word, man. I would because he's in shape. Like it's just a little bit more graininess, maybe, or like pop.
Yeah,
Um, that back because his backs are high. You know, it's a high lat. I don't like it, but
yeah,
I
me
don't think
neither.
you can't insert your lat lower. Like that's just where it inserts, right?
No, but he can get it like to push more
I think
against
he
the
needs
feet.
more lower back. Like,
Yeah. Well, I think at this show he finally got top six, and I think he deserved it. So
hey man, I was happy. I like Akeem. I know him for a long time. I mean,
yeah,
the
he's
guy
workhorse. So
doesn't talk. He just handles business, man. You know, I like guys
yeah,
like that.
yeah. So we kind of covered Bonak and Hadi a little bit. I think Hadi at the prejudging was really flat and a little worried. He definitely didn't pop like he usually would. So I think that I think he placed where he deserved. The only the only guy maybe because a lot of people are saying it and I'm starting to believe it that Phil Heath should have been pushed out of the top five. Because he just huh?
Pushed out of the top five.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying it now, like that we're there, and
Um,
like imagine if he was like Antoine, like a rookie, and he looked like that. Like, where would you?
Here's the thing with Phil. I still think so. Number one, he got worse from the morning, from the day one to day two. He got worse, but day one like he was almost there on most on the back. On the back, it was just flat. You could tell it wasn't like you could see all the lines in the hamstring. He had them all dug out. The glutes were there. It's just it wasn't coming out of the skin as much, which could be a carb thing, right? Uh, the stomach, it's just it's very like it's all you can look at now, right? Because that's all we have in our head. So it's like I was hoping for sure it would be somehow fixed, but I think it's like a pregnant girl, right? Like some pregnancies when you have
Yeah,
like
yeah, it's over.
your separation happens around your that area. It's no matter what you do, it just can't get it to the way it was, you know?
No, for sure. I mean, he's never gonna get it back because he's too old. He's like 41, and
Yeah.
why? Why he was flat? That happened to him in 2018 too. He couldn't carb up because of his
Yes.
waist.
Yes. And I think
So so
so.
it's
Those make
over for
sense.
him.
Yeah. So but either way, I mean, I thought it was.
But did you have him second at prejudging? I didn't. I had
I
him like
didn't. I didn't because you know what was also weird? His side leg was not impressive like it used to be.
yeah.
Remember his leg was sick. His side chest
Yeah,
pose.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's what I
His
said. That's what I said in other wrap-ups, when he turned to the side and did the side chest and didn't look
didn't have
crazy.
him. Brandon's side hamstrings were better. They were
Yeah,
hanging.
I knew he was done. I knew he was in
Yeah.
trouble. So I
Because I was
definitely,
like, you.
because he was in the scores, he was second after prejudging, and I personally didn't have it. I have him third at the highest, like maybe even fourth. So I don't know. Like I didn't see him as like I know when he got third, he probably thought he had the show because he was so disappointed that I think we're never gonna see him on stage again, and I think it would be a smart idea not to compete again because
Oh yeah.
he's not looking like himself anymore.
But if you think about it, even if a Kai Green came back now, as crazy as he looks in the gym and pictures, he's not going to be able to do it because all those years of not peaking, it makes a difference because now you got to remember the formula, right?
That's what I
And
said too. Like maybe feel too like for when you that's
two
what
years.
yeah, that's what Kevin Livroni said too. He was like, when you're so long out of the game, you forget the process.
Yes,
You're not the same guy anymore. So
you're not the same guy. Yes. And you're relying on that one shot, right? It's not like you can do some
yeah,
warm up.
yeah, it's fucked.
So
So
I still think overall it was respectable, but the amount of talking that was happening, that was
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what,
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
if I knew,
He even had the
I don't know.
shirt made. He even had the shirt
It could
made like
also be, when you don't compete and you see yourself in the mirror, you still think, yeah, I'm gonna, like, that's, he probably was like, yeah, I'm right back where I used to be.
of course,
And,
he's
and then
fucking
you
Phil
get
Heath.
there and you're like, fuck, maybe I'm not.
Yeah, that's what I think so as well. When he looked in the mirror, he was like, "Holy shit, I'm back." That's
I'm
it.
back. Yeah, yeah.
I'm on point. But when you're under the lights, it's a different thing.
And these guys, like 2% is a big difference.
Yeah.
The street won't notice, but me and you will notice like 2%, 1% here. So it's like fucking NASCAR, right? Like, like
Yeah,
it's like it's close, but like
yeah.
even though like by 0.1 second, we know that that's a big difference. Yeah.
So, what did you think of Brandon? I think
I thought Brandon looked very good the first day. I thought he was his best condition. His glutes were very good, but again, he has like small glutes, small hamstrings. So it's the condition was there. The upper body was great. It's just the size of the legs the side legs improved a lot. I thought he got bigger there. His side chest was good, man, and even tricep. If you see the one beside Phil, he beat him on it.
yeah.
The front poses. I don't know if it was the lighting. Like I found, like when he did the front double bicep, he was sticking his stomach like out a bit. Maybe that could have been a little better. But the lat spread was good. The taper is beautiful. Like the color.
He's crazy. He's crazy built.
Taper.
Yeah.
So I had him pushing half Ramy because Ramy. So yeah, let's finish. Let's finish with Brandon. Brandon from the back. I liked his back double bicep. It's just his hamstrings need more. But the condition is there.
Yeah,
like
that's all a doctor though. Like
yeah.
With from the back.
It's basically the inside of the quad. It's like you remember when Rodin's back double bicep. He's shredded, but it's not the same shredded as like a Phil Heath, But it's enough to win because from the front he has a better front, And so it's like Brandon had the condition. His glutes were last year. Remember, his glutes were like kind of like blurry, right? This year they were crisp. So they were better.
He was better, but Milos made a good point in his IG live. He said that he was better at 2019 Arnold, and I tend to agree with that. I think he was more separated.
I don't remember. Oh yeah. He was huge there too, though. I remember like that spread is what I remember. Like he fucking like took.
Yeah, but he was grainy. He was grainy.
Yeah.
So I think he maxed out his capabilities in Kuwait as well. I think he needs to try a different thing now. Because
but it was. I mean, I thought it was a very. Like put it this way: if it was a 2011 Heath, he would have killed everybody. If it was a 20,
for sure.
he would have killed everybody. But it wasn't. So those guys were a bit better than him. Even at 20. When did Sean win? 2018. If that Sean came, he would have won.
Oh, you think so?
I think so because Ramy's side, back, those areas improved a lot. Like he had great glutes; they were fully in, But the hamstrings from the back aren't,
Yeah, but still, the size, man, he's so fucking.
So much muscle that he almost looks like a fat guy. Like it's so much muscle. The side legs were crazy. Like his glutes came all the way down, like this much glute all the way down to the ham. That's impressive. You don't see that a lot. It's just the quads, man. I don't know if he's putting his gear in there. Like I can notice where they are, you know, like exactly where they, and the blurriness on the quads in the front is a problem, I think. Like I don't know if it's because he can't flex it because he's so big, but like you'd think there'd be more separation between the heads, right?
Yeah, he needs to avoid those shots. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't need them.
And I'm not saying I really don't think it's SEO. Like I 100% don't think so because I know guys that know him very well, and it'd be very stupid. Like, why would you put SEO? You put SEO when you have 18-inch arms and you want 20-inch arms.
Yeah.
You don't put SEO on your quad that's 36 inches.
Yeah, that's stupid. That's stupid. No, it's gear.
It makes no sense.
It's
I
gear.
think it's gear.
Yeah, it wasn't timed right, so it was too late. So it was a little bit of a stupid decision. But either way, I think he looked fucking amazing. I think he looked off the charts. He was hard. He still could have been a little bit better, but
could have been tighter. I thought.
You got to think a little bit. You got to take into account the fact that he was dieting the whole year. He was prepping. He was prepping for the Arnold, and then he was prepping for Spain, and now the Olympia. So dieting all year. So with a full year off, I think he can come in crazy.
Oh yeah. If he does a full year off and does like a 6-month diet, just slow and long, people are gonna have problems, man.
No, he doesn't fucking need an off season. Come on.
Yeah, he doesn't need to. No, that's what I'm saying. Well, I mean, Rami in Ramadan is off and he's like 330. Like, trust me, this guy doesn't need much shit. Like, people assume that this guy's like cranking all the gear in the world. Believe me, man, these Egyptians are like, they're not human, man.
Bro, I know a guy, I can't say names, but they were going to Australia and they had to pick up gear for him in 2014. And and they showed them the cycle. It was nothing. It was nothing.
Yeah.
It was like 750 tests and stuff, like amateur.
Yeah, I know guys that go on a week trip and they want like 2 bottles of stuff, like.
Yeah,
like,
so Rami.
What are you gonna do with it?
Rami is a freak. You aren't 290 by accident, that doesn't happen every day.
Man, imagine being 300 and something in Ramadan. Like, it's fucking impossible, man.
Yeah, I don't know how it is because I'm not Muslim, so I
mean, to hold on to any size,
it's
usually
crazy, yeah.
Ramadan, I just look at it like, whatever I hold on to, I'll be happy, I'll just it's control,
So, Rami was really dominant in this show. He can improve. I think he has a lot of room. That's the most exciting part. He doesn't look maxed out, even though he's 290. So, going forward, do you think he's gonna be like a 5-6 time Mr. Olympia?
I think the reason why I say yes is I think the other guys are gonna leave. I think Brandon might not come back. I don't know. I mean, if I was him, I'd be like, how much longer do you want to be away from your family? Like, it's not easy, right? He's got like 5 kids, I think now.
No, but he has his own gym now. Maybe he can make it work in.
States. That's true. In the States, yeah. I think also. I guess it's just a decision they have to make, right?
Yeah, he wrote today on like in his caption on Instagram that he's gonna be back. And I feel really bad for the guy because he was a great Mr. Olympia. Even in COVID, he was a great ambassador. He's well spoken. He's nice.
Family guy.
And I think he has an amazing physique. He is like a classic guy, but he's 260. So I think. Yeah. So I feel really bad for him, but Rami was just crazy. That's fucking unbeatable. I don't care what anyone says.
It's so crazy, Rami's body, because like you could tell he's ready because his abs were so dry. He's got a big waist, but he doesn't look that bad because everything else is
huge. Yeah,
everything else is huge. Like when he did the lat spread, it was like, what the fuck, like
crazy. Yeah, he's just huge. And that picture where he's standing next to Regan Grimes in the lineup, Jesus Christ, So. Yeah. He's so dominant. Even Dorian congratulated him, and Dorian didn't congratulate anyone in 3 years. So
I think they all do because like everybody knows that guy was getting shit on for so long, right?
Yeah.
Even though he did a lot still, like if you consider like 10 years ago, he was a nobody, right?
Yeah.
And he was able to do, I think, a lot from a guy coming from out of nowhere. Second of all, that guy is really nice for real, you know, like
I
he's
can
genuine.
tell.
Everybody's happy for him, you know?
Yeah, he's the nicest guy ever, so it works, you know. I'm happy for him too. Either him or Brandon, I'm happy for. So,
Yeah.
you know, they're just nice, and he just has to keep working on his English. His English is really good right now, but he
It
can,
improved, yeah, it improved a lot, yeah.
yeah,
I think he's in a good position. I think he lives in UAE. He has his shit set up. I think it's not going to be hard for him to repeat.
bro, what's gonna be the celebration like when he comes back to fucking Egypt?
He's going on in 2 days, I think. I was just reading on Ahmed's wall, one of the other Egyptian guys. It's going to be a riot, man. They're going to have like a fucking parade. No, it will. I mean, if Hadi won, it would be the end of the world, and Iran would just go nuts. But
Yeah. Do you think Hadi can win the Olympia?
I personally don't think so because
Too
he's structured
small?
not pretty. He has a unpretty. Like Hadi knows how to get away with his structure. Like he's got perfect stomach control, right? Because that's the only way he can get away with that blocky stomach, right?
Yeah.
I think that there have been. I think there will become better Iranians coming up. It's
Yeah, but
just
he's really
can
young
make
too.
it out of the system.
He's
Yeah,
really young. He's like
he's
32.
young. Yeah, and he's made his way up from like what, like middleweight, lightweight.
Nothing. He was nothing.
He was a stick. Yeah, you know. So
He looked at his first show. He looked worse than me at my first show. So
yeah. So yeah. So I think he just needs to refine. Don't even need to be bigger because.
so for the final thought, what did you think about how the show was ran? You
I
know,
thought it was very good, man. I like the venue was nice. The city was nice. The hotel was like right there. You just literally crossed the road. Like it was as
should they
easy as you can make it.
should they keep it there in
I think
Orlando?
they should fucking keep it there, man.
You
Even
know,
if
you know what's
Orlando.
the they need to. I will write the fucking email to Dan Solomon. They need to move it either a little bit back or further in the
Yeah.
night because us guys from Europe, like I'm
Ah,
6 hours
yeah.
back, it was between 1 in the morning and 4 in the morning. I didn't wake up.
I don't know why they did the men so late. Imagine holding your condition till fucking like 10 o'clock or whatever. What was it like? It was late, man.
No,
It's 2,
they need to do like a
2
afternoon
p.m.
morning thing. Like
Yeah.
it's not, bodybuilding is not football. You don't have to hold it at 10 p.m. You can hold it in the middle of the day. Like we don't care about the night or like we're
Yeah.
bodybuilders. We go to sleep at 9 p.m. So
Yeah. Dude, I was sleeping. I was like dying.
yeah, we are used to different schedules. So that's
Yeah.
retarded. So I hope they fix that a little bit for next year.
I think they'll take some of that feedback. Man, that venue is nice. The whole I liked it much better than it's Las Vegas. If it was there, even if they had it there, you can't do shit. There's limitations, restrictions. This place was like, Florida's like, it's not like you hear on the news. Everybody's following the rules. It's open, so which is the
Yeah,
way
they
it should.
don't care.
Yeah, like you're wearing masks, but everything's open. So that's what it should be, So
Awesome. All right, we were here for 2 hours.
yeah, I know. It was a
I
lot
think
of a lot of.
that's more than enough. Thank you so much for doing this. I know
Yeah, no problem, man. It was fun, man.
you're still fresh out of the show, and yeah, we're gonna share it around, and hope it picks up. Hope we get
Okay.
more views than Fuad.
Okay. No, he's on the roll, man.
Yeah, he's crazy. He's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with that shit. He's
Okay,
doing
man. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.